In the early 1970s, a musical revolution swept across Britain and changed rock and roll forever. It was loud, it was flashy, and it was absolutely unapologetic. Glam rock fused raw guitar-driven energy with outrageous theatricality, sequined costumes, platform boots, and enough makeup to fill a department store. The stage became a runway, and every performance was a spectacle. No proto-glam here, no distant influences, just the real thing in its purest and most dazzling form. Today we are going back to where it all began with the first 15 pure glam rock songs in history. Sparks brought something truly bizarre and wonderful to the glam movement. Their sound was eccentric, theatrical, and completely unpredictable. This track combined surreal lyrics, an unmistakable falsetto vocal, and a production style that felt like nothing else on the radio at the time. The band represented the most experimental corner of the glam world. They did not fit neatly into any box, and that was exactly what made them exciting. The song became an instant classic and cemented Sparks as one of the most inventive and memorable acts to emerge from the genre. Everything about them was a little bit strange and a little bit brilliant, which is exactly what glam rock was built to celebrate. Was this the strangest glam song you ever heard? Or do you know one even wilder? Hello burst onto the glam scene with a high-voltage guitar-driven cover that showcased their youthful energy and raw enthusiasm. Released in 1974, the track captured everything the second wave of glam was about: bright costumes, loud guitars, and a direct connection with teenage audiences. The group leaned hard into the visual spectacle while keeping the music punchy and straightforward. Their look was as loud as their sound, and their fans loved every second of it. With this song, Hello carved out a spot in glam history as a band that brought freshness and pure adrenaline to a movement that was still going strong. Steve Harley and Cockney Rebel added a layer of sophistication to the glam sound that set them apart from their peers. Judy Teen, released in 1974, had an elegant, carefully produced quality that leaned toward the artistic side of the genre without losing its glam essence. The band embraced a theatrical image with a more poetic approach to their lyrics. Harley's voice carried a dramatic flair that gave their performances an almost literary quality, as if every song was a short story being acted out on stage. This single launched them into the spotlight and established Cockney Rebel as one of the most original and refined voices in the entire glam movement. Kenny brought a lighter, more danceable flavor to glam rock with The Bump in 1974. The track had an infectious rhythm built for movement, and their image was perfectly aligned with the shiny, colorful aesthetic of the era. They were young, energetic, and refreshingly unpretentious. While they may not carry the same legendary status as some of the bigger names on this list, they were very much part of the glam explosion in its peak years. With The Bump, Kenny proved that glam did not always have to be heavy or complicated. Sometimes it just needed to get people onto the dance floor with a smile on their face. Alvin Stardust arrived with an air of mystery wrapped in black leather and a theatrical intensity that set him apart from the glitter-covered crowd. My Coo Cha Choo blended sensuality with a dark, brooding energy that gave the glam movement a different shade entirely. His vocal delivery was commanding, and his stage presence was magnetic. While most glam acts leaned toward brightness and color, Stardust chose shadows and edge, and audiences found it irresistible. The song had a rhythm that stuck in your head for days. He represented the moodier, more seductive side of glam rock, and he did it with undeniable style. Do you prefer the dark side of glam or the glitter and color? leaving the Electric Light Orchestra, Roy Wood formed Wizzard and unleashed one of the most gloriously excessive glam anthems of the era. Released in 1973, the song was packed with layers of production, bursting with horns, strings, and a wall of sound that felt almost overwhelming in the best possible way. Wood himself took the visual side of glam to its absolute extreme. Wearing outfits so wild and colorful that he looked like he had stepped out of a fever dream. Nothing about Wizzard was subtle, and that was entirely the point. The single reached #1 in the United Kingdom and confirmed that glam rock was at its absolute peak. Mud brought a playful, carefree spirit to the glam world, with Crazy in 1973. The song was all about fun, with bouncy melodies and an energy that made it impossible to sit still. There was nothing complicated about it, and that was its greatest strength. The band fully embraced the glam look with flashy outfits and a festive attitude that made their live shows feel like a party. Do you remember the first time a glam rock song made you want to jump up and dance without caring who was watching? With Crazy, Mud established themselves as one of the key names in the second wave of glam, proving that pure joy was just as powerful as spectacle. Suzi Quatro shattered boundaries as one of the first women to take center stage in the glam rock world. Can the Can exploded in 1973 with a ferocious energy that matched or surpassed anything the male-dominated scene was producing at the time. Dressed in leather and armed with a bass guitar and an unstoppable attitude, Quatro proved that glam rock had no gender restrictions. She rocked with raw power and complete confidence, and she did it entirely on her own terms. The song was not just a hit. It became a statement of empowerment that inspired generations of female musicians who came after her. In a genre defined by breaking rules, Suzi Quatro broke the biggest one of all. Bryan Ferry and Roxy Music pushed glam into more sophisticated and artistically ambitious territory with Virginia Plain in 1972. The track blended high fashion sensibility with musical experimentation, creating something that felt both glamorous and intellectually stimulating. Their aesthetic was meticulously crafted. Every detail of their image, from the clothing to the album covers, was treated as a work of art. Roxy Music showed that glam could be avant-garde and accessible at the same time. This debut single launched a brilliant career and positioned the band as one of the most influential and innovative groups to emerge from the entire glam era. When Mott the Hoople was on the verge of breaking up, David Bowie stepped in and handed them a song that changed everything. All the Young Dudes, released in 1972, gave the band a second life and gave the glam movement one of its most powerful anthems. The song spoke directly to youth, rebellion, and style, all the core values that defined glam rock at its heart. Its soaring chorus and shimmering guitars turned it into an instant classic that resonated far beyond the British charts. All the Young Dudes did not just rescue a band from oblivion. It became one of the foundation stones of the entire glam rock movement. The pounding, repetitive rhythm of Rock and Roll Part 2 became one of the most instantly recognizable sounds in glam rock. Draped in silver costumes and radiating pure flamboyance, Gary Glitter represented the genre's most extravagant extreme. The track was built almost entirely on chanting and a relentless beat, designed from the ground up to fill stadiums and unite crowds. Its simplicity was its greatest weapon. You did not need to know a single word to feel the power of this song surging through a packed arena. Although the artist's personal legacy later became deeply controversial, the impact this track had on glam rock and stadium anthems in general is impossible to erase from music history. In 1972, Bowie became Ziggy Stardust and delivered Starman to a world that was not remotely prepared for it. His television appearance with fiery red hair and a futuristic costume left viewers stunned and became one of the most talked about moments in British pop culture. The song told the story of a visitor from another world, a perfect metaphor for what Bowie himself represented. He was alien, cosmic, and theatrical in a way nobody had ever seen before. What went through your mind the first time you saw Bowie in full Ziggy Stardust mode? Was it shock, fascination, or something you could not quite put into words? Starman remains one of the most iconic glam rock recordings ever made, the moment where music and visual spectacle merged into something truly transcendent. Sweet took their first steps into glam territory with Funny Funny in 1971. The song had a light, bubbly quality, with catchy guitars and pop-friendly melodies wrapped in a colorful, eye-catching aesthetic. Early on, some dismissed them as a manufactured studio creation shaped by producers, rather than genuine artistry. But Sweet quickly proved the doubters wrong with their stage presence and their commitment to the glam lifestyle. The flashy outfits and bold makeup became as much a part of their identity as the music itself. Funny Funny showed the world that glam rock had room for pure pop fun, alongside the heavier, louder acts. Do you care if a band was industry-made, if the songs were still great?
See, everybody raise both your hands in the air! Come on, everybody!
Slade arrived like a freight train, bringing raw power and a party atmosphere that was impossible to resist. Get Down and Get With It in 1971 pushed glam into louder, rougher terrain, combining heavy guitar riffs with crowd-chanting choruses that turned every concert into a communal celebration. The audience was never a passive observer at a Slade show. The band demanded participation, and the fans delivered every single time. There was an almost tribal energy to their performances, a sense that everyone in the room was part of something bigger than themselves. This track established Slade as one of the most powerful and influential forces in British glam rock. If you had to pick one song that truly started glam rock, which would it be? The glam rock journey began right here. Marc Bolan and T-Rex launched an entire movement with Ride a White Swan, a song that did not need heavy distortion or complicated arrangements to change the world. It had a hypnotic riff, a voice dripping with effortless cool, and an attitude that announced something brand new was happening. When Bolan appeared on television in glittering jackets and an image that defied every convention of the time, it became clear that this was not just a new sound, it was a new way of existing as a rock star. The music and the visual spectacle were inseparable from that moment forward. Ride a White Swan is remembered as the true starting point of glam rock, a song that turned simplicity into art and inspired an entire generation of musicians to pick up a guitar, put on some glitter, and dare to be extraordinary. Everything on this list exists because Marc Bolan went first. Every one of these songs helped build a movement that lit up the 1970s with brilliance, energy, and fearless self-expression. Glam rock taught us that music is not just something you hear. It is something you see, something you feel, and something you live. It celebrated individuality, rebellion, and extravagance as an art form. Which of these songs is your favorite? Tell us in the comments and share this with someone who still believes rock and roll should be as much about the spectacle as the sound. This was Rock Memories, where the past still plays loud.